Okay, welcome to another video. Welcome to another edition of In Pursuit of Perfection. My name is Sam Lopere Hospital. Now, in our last video, we spoke about the true value of a man and how value is not really, found out by you, but it's found out that by what people are willing to give up for you. And when you understand what it is people have been able to give up for you, and particularly what God specifically has been able to give up for you, it should boost your confidence as to how valuable you are, not just to him, but to his purpose, to his will, and to his desire. So it is not for you to beat yourself down when you see that you're in a certain kind of situation, but rather it's for you to understand that of a truth, God is watching out for you, and it is for you to actually follow in line with that will and desire of God. But now in this video, we're going to be talking about something different. The last few videos we've been talking basically along the line of love. We want to talk of value was still centered around the concept of love. And now we are going to be talking about something else. We're going to be talking about courage. And in this video, we're going to be understanding some certain things about courage and why it is important for you to be courageous, one, but also why the concept of courage is not always seen the way it is meant to be seen. Now, we are going to be using this example from scripture to be able to understand what it means to be courageous. When God was, handing over the baton of the leadership of Israel from Moses to Joshua, he told him that he should be courageous. He told him that he should not be afraid. He told him that he's going to face a lot of challenges, but he should face them with courage because of what was coming ahead of him. And Joshua took that word, and the first battle that he fought it. It was not even really his fight. It was around Jericho. They crossed the river Jordan. They got to Jericho. They walked around Jericho 7 times. The 7th time on the 7th day they went around 7 times, and they let off a shout, and the walls of Jericho crumbled. That's fantastic. That was a magnificent victory. And in line with what it is God had told him to be courageous. He should not back down from a fight. So the next city that they had to conquer came, and that was the city called Ai. And when they went to this city, they observed it and said, okay, it looks like we'll just be able to take this city. It's a little thing. And they went into that battle and they were beaten handily. Now, there are a lot of background things as to why that battle went the way, but I want us to look at a certain thing to understand something. Joshua was courageous. God had given him the mandate. God had told him, go and do what it is that you have to do. The same way for a lot of us, God has told us to do what we have to do. And Joshua was courageous in that sense, that once he had the mandate, he was willing to go for it. But what made the difference between what happened in Jericho and what happened in Ai was that there was courage, but there was no strategy. So this is the thing. Courage without strategy is foolishness. Courage means to stand against adversity, to be able to push through when everything looks like it should be making you afraid and stop you from doing what it is that you want to do. And it's true that God has called us to be courageous, and he has called us to be courageous to stand in the face of every adversity and keep pressing in according to what he has told us to do. But we must also understand that courage without strategy is foolishness. I'll say it again. Courage without strategy is foolishness. Let me put it in a more spiritual way. If you are advancing without a word or instruction from God, you will fail. It's as simple as that. But one of the major reasons why they were successful in Jericho was because God gave them a strategy. He gave them what to do and how they would be able to conquer Jericho. And when they went to the next battle, they went to Ai with the same courage to take what it is God had promised them. They went there without a strategy. And after all the things hidden were unveiled, we now found out that there were some things that did not go the way they were supposed to go. And then the result of God was to now give them a strategy. Anytime that we try to fight battles without a strategy, we are putting ourselves in a situation where failure is standing right at the door looking at us. And if we don't get this right, we will say that we have a mandate from God, and then we'll go to do some certain things that seem right, but we'll find ourselves failing because we were courageous, but we lacked the right strategy. Before you take that step, you need to ask some certain questions. Okay, God has told me to go to a certain place. To do what? What am I really going there to do? When Jesus sent the apostles on a certain journey to go and spread the gospel, he told them something, that they should go to a certain group of people. He told them that they should heal the sick. He told them that they should raise the dead. He gave them some specific instructions for what they needed to do, because that was the strategy needed for that season. What strategy do you have? Or do you just have the, I feel it in my heart that God says I should go? Go where? Do what? We like to hinge on the thoughts of, but God just told Abraham, go to a land that I will show you. But he was moving on the confidence that God was going to show him something. And we find out that Abraham always fell into some sort of challenge when he tried to do things without any sort of consultation from God. He tried to solve so many situations by himself. That was Ishmael. He tried to do some certain things by himself. That was him giving his wife to the king of Egypt, and also Abimelech. These are things that happen when we make decisions without consulting the one who made us and sent us on that journey. We need the strategy of God. Isaac had a strategy from God. He wanted to leave and go to Egypt. God told him, stay, plant, and you'll multiply. He didn't just stay because he wanted to stay. He stayed because there was a strategy given to him by God. You need a strategy to be able to fulfill God's mandate, not just the mandate itself. The mandate alone is not enough. The mission alone is not enough. You need a strategy. And if you do not have a strategy, your courage will look like foolishness, because you stand before the great army and you have nothing to do. You stand before the great army and you'll be fearful. You stand before the great army and you will be defeated. Your confidence should not just be on the fact that you heard something. Your confidence should be on the fact that you heard something and then you got a strategy. Are you running blind? God is not foolish. The scripture said that this was the prayer of the psalm. He said, teach me to number my days. Meaning, I need to know how to organize every single moment of my life. And the one that teaches me is God. Do you have a strategy? The scripture says he daily loads us with benefits. What benefit is it? How do you obtain that benefit? There's a strategy. If you lack the strategy, I'll say it again, your courage becomes foolishness, because you're just running. Imagine someone doing track and field, and they set the whole thing and he runs before the gun is fired. They call that a foul. He's disqualified because he's not going according to what he's meant to do. So if you want to see yourself receive the best from God, gain a strategy. Gain a strategy. With your courage, gain a strategy. This has been Tamno Prios for bringing you the word. If you would like to catch up with our other videos, you can see links up to them, about them right here. And you can be uplifted by what God is doing in us and through us in this season. And this is just a continuation of our bi-weekly series. In the month of August, we are going to be having a continuation of our prayer series, which is a bi-monthly series, and you are enjoying to come and pray with us and be uplifted in the spirit. God bless you. Have an awesome day. Goodbye.